DBL Nation, and happy Friday! It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. We're in the... Oh, we're not allowed to do that anymore.
You know what? It's Friday.
Okay, it's Friday.
There's
I'm Kelly
top
Schubert.
hat right there.
Yeah.
Keeping the cymbals splashy by Kelly Schubert, everybody.
This is Tori Schulman.
I'm playing the pan flute.
Like on Anchorman. I love that. I love
I'm
that
not
part. Prepared. If you haven't seen Anchorman in a while, you should go watch it. And if
So-
you've never seen it, you should see it.
Oh, God.
So we're checking all the top stories of the day. That's what we do here every day at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time on Break Room.
On Break Room. So let us know what you guys are drinking.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a mix of...
No, you don't have any cream in that. What's
I
going
don't drink
on?
cream. Oh, Mommy's very lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but don't you usually at least put some chocolate in there?
I
or
have
something?
hot cocoa in here.
You
And
do?
no sugar. I just ran out with sugar. It's like gasoline, but it just makes me feel good. Everyone's saying yay for Friday. Happy Friday. Tori and
goodness.
Kelly. Thank God. This
Been a
week's
long
been
week.
weird.
Yeah, it's been a
I have
very
not
weird
liked this
week.
week.
Everyone has been in a weird mood.
Everybody. And no one's here today on the show. It's very exciting. You're
No
going to see a
one's
totally
here.
new panel you've never seen. So if you're kind of wanting to watch live TV and something might happen, tune in today.
Today could be the day it happens. Also happening today, the FBI arrested Roger Stone. He is President Trump's associate. He has been indicted on several charges brought on by special counsel Robert Mueller. I believe Leo has a graphic he can bring up. 1 count of obstruction, 5 counts of false statements, 1 count of witness tampering. So Mueller alleges the longtime Trump associate sought stolen emails from WikiLeaks that could damage Trump's opponents at the direction of, quote, a senior Trump campaign official. So the indictment, this is all coming from CNN, the indictment's wording does not say who on the campaign knew about Stone's quest, but made it clear it was multiple people. This is the first time prosecutors have allegedly... Wait, this is the first time, yeah, people close to the president who worked with Stone as he sought out WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. So it's about to go down.
It's about to go down. So what I want to tell you guys really quickly is not a ton of information about it because it's going to kind of get in the weeds, and I get that.
And it is in the weeds.
It is in the weeds. But Roger Stone is a very interesting character, and there's a Netflix documentary called Get Me Roger Stone. He's known as a dirty politician, and he actually loves the name of that.
He like prides himself on
prides
it.
himself.
Yeah.
So on his back right here
Oh, yeah,
is
Leo
a
has that as
full
well.
tattoo of Richard Nixon's face.
So Leo,
on
we're kind of
his back.
skipping. I'm sure you're following Leo.
I apologize, yes.
No, it's fine. So Leo's got that tag board up. He'll show you the tattoo real quick.
Very strange. He
Okay,
loves
so
Nixon.
what's up with this tattoo?
So Roger Stone believes in corrupt politics.
Yeah.
And he believes that Richard Nixon was like the greatest American president of our time. And he believes that that corruption is part of it. So this is he's been very open about it.
It's his
He's been
jam.
it's on CNN, he's on all these things. So
And he talks about it, yeah.
He loves to talk, and he's very well dressed and sort of flamboyant. Now, the problem with Roger Stone is that he spoke to someone, and I'm not kidding you, he spoke to Julian Assange about WikiLeaks, which they're now thinking might be a cover for Russian intelligence, but here's the big deal. He spoke to a Russian spy and then tweeted it about it named Guccifer 2.0. Not Lucifer, but Guccifer 2.0. That has got him into a whole range of trouble, and instead of indicting someone, which you'd usually do by getting up to them, taking them in, their lawyers with them.
Oh, yeah, Leo
there's no
has that
arrest,
video, too.
Which is, this was done in the dawn with SWAT teams and FBI. They said FBI hands, they had guns out,
drawn.
and they said warrant. They kicked in the door. It was a complete surprise, and they gave 3 reasons why this indictment was so very different than everyone else's.
And I want to, when we bring this video up that Leo's going to bring up for you, this is a CNN exclusive, so I want to be clear about that video. It's all coming from CNN.
It is a CNN. You're absolutely right. I actually heard this. So CNN has the actual footage of these SWAT teams, who I may remind you are not getting paid during this government shutdown. And they say FBI warrant.
And you can see how dark it is.
Oh, so we have, oh, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is this morning, guys. They kick in the door and everyone says, why was this done when you could have just had him indicted and brought into a court for just meet a judge? Here's the reason why. There's 3. 1, he's a flight risk. He could literally go into another country and ask for asylum, much like Julian Assange, who is his very close pal.
Yeah.
Number 2, he's a gun owner. He has a ton of guns. And to know that, the FBI has to take that very, very seriously.
Yeah.
But number 3, and this is the very biggest reason I want you guys to know about this, not only did they have an arrest warrant, Mueller had a search warrant. So right after he was gone, they searched the house. They're still there. They didn't want Roger Stone shredding that evidence.
Yeah.
Now that's why you do
they
a
raided his
surprise
home.
indictment, right?
In the
You don't
middle
normally
of the
see
night,
Michael
before
Cohen
the
was
sun
not like
rises.
this. Exactly. That's why this was so like
pretty wild.
Kind of crazy. So I just wanted to let you guys know people thought he would get indicted somewhere along the lines. But this is just another person on the peripheral of Trump who has just not good. This is going to go down badly.
It's not a good situation. Right now, actually, let me look at the time. Yeah, right now he's in a federal courtroom in Florida, appearing before a federal judge. So we'll know more soon.
I'm sure they're going to take his passport. I would hope they take his passport.
NBC has this little nugget, which I thought was interesting. So they say, quote, "We know a very senior Trump administration official was directed, not sure who he was directed by, to be in touch with Roger Stone, and that they texted him, quote, well done, after a big release."
Now, most people think this one guy that no one knows the name of, and this is speculation. I want to be very clear on this.
Alleged speculation is that Steve Bannon is the senior White House official that has combined Roger Stone and all this. So this guy that they keep talking about, we don't know yet. I would be interested to keep an eye on Steve Bannon and his indictment future. He's already left the White House, obviously, but Steve Bannon allegedly is what some people are calling this mysterious White House official. So lots of shakeup here with Mueller. Again, it's a Friday. They're not going to have a ton to respond. What's it called? Hashtag Indictment Friday is what a lot of people are hashtagging it. It's trending. Or hashtag, the other one is Mueller. What is it? It's
Mueller.
It's something
Beast.
Mueller. I'll find it for you guys so you can track that hashtag. But
it happens
it's
usually
trending.
on a Friday.
I looked this morning and every Twitter trend was about this. Every single one of them.
I mean, it's crazy. Now, the other thing that we'll talk about is the government shutdown, and John has already beaten us to it. This guy is very good.
John,
you got to stop with it, John. We're getting there.
Be patient.
LaGuardia, one of the very busiest airports in New York, of course, has the FAA has shut down a large portion of LaGuardia due to basically not enough staff and safety concerns. So they are now calling a safe rate. It's almost like a zone that they go to. They're worried about TSA agents. They're also worried about air traffic controllers. They just think the safety concern is so much greater now that their cancer being delayed and canceled.
I mean, it should be. Air traffic controllers, they wake up early every morning, they work through the night. These people have a very stressful job. Now they're having to think about not being able to feed their kids and then come to work and have their stressful job. No, that doesn't make any sense. We're asking for trouble here.
Yes, and just so you guys know, there is a bill on the floor right now called the Welch bill. This is to prevent future federal employees having to work without pay. Now remember, we've never had this. This is the longest government shutdown we've ever had. So this bill will protect in the future, but no one saw this coming.
Yep.
So this is, remember, also Friday is what, Kelly? It's payday. So this is the second payday we've had with over 800,000 furloughed workers. Not getting 2 paydays is a lot.
You want to know what the back pay on that is? How much they're owed? It's $6 billion. $6 billion. And yes, that's with a B. $6 billion is what they're owed.
That's crazy.
So pretty wild to think about that number. We're going to keep tracking this, obviously, throughout the day.
People are already coming up with memes. It's Mueller time.
Yeah. That's the one. That's
Mueller
time.
That's
the hashtag I saw. It's
I get
Mueller
it.
time.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh,
So
man.
Mueller Friday is also doing that.
Yep, Mueller Friday.
Just so you know, journalists on
Friday.
Friday will drop a big, or not journalists, they'll drop on journalists big news on Friday because you don't have the chance to respond because you're on the weekend. So it's actually
It's very strategic.
Purposeful, that's it.
Yeah, it's very strategic. My question is, all of these people, did they think they were going to get away with this stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I really was thinking about it this morning, and I was like, how dumb?
Yeah, they did. To
really?
be honest, Roger Stone has gotten away with everything, and he is always called Teflon for a reason. He gets off on basically every indictment. He's very careful with plausible deniability, and he also is known to shred documents, which is why you saw SWAT team members to come in and surprise the heck out of him. Now, his spokesperson has always said that was completely unnecessary. I don't think it was that unnecessary. So I'm just worried for him in jail with a Richard Nixon tattoo on his back.
Oh, no.
It's not a good thing. No. So Kimberly says, Tori, during the panel, can you tell Jeff it's $6 billion with a B? He loves when you say that.
I was gonna do that, but unfortunately, Jeff's not here today, so I can't do that for him. I wanted to. Let's see.
Very interesting. We also want to strip down to a amazing fifth host, and we want to know what you guys are thinking. We're kind of stuck on this money issue because you guys wrote in like crazy yesterday.
Yeah, we want to help you with your finances. We're going to continue to ask for you to send us any questions about your finances, whether it's retirement or how to buy a house. Kimberly, a lot of people are sending in a lot of cool questions.
That's fantastic.
And they're all questions I need to know the answers to, so it's great. So keep sending them in, info@dailyblastlive.com. Anything you want, safe space, send them in.
So
and if you
safe.
don't want us to
So
mention
safe.
your name, say that.
Yeah.
Say, like, I'd rather keep this private.
Or come up with a new name.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Lola.
I haven't. I'm not going to tell you who mine is.
I have a fake Yelper name. Do you?
No.
God forbid I use Tori and then I go and I tweet, but yell about you and they go, Tori sandwich.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've never thought about that. Tori sandwich.
Heather W over here.
You little rascal, Heather W.
I sure do love the name Heather. Okay.
Any Heathers out there in DBL Nation right now? Please write us in and let us know.
Also, by the way, it's all crumbling. It's all crumbling, says John Venturini. If you also don't know, our great Senator Gardner from Colorado made a very rare speech on the Senate floor yesterday that's going way viral. He spoke for 25 minutes. This is a mild-mannered man. You never really hear from him. And he went crazy, screaming at times, almost crying, screaming at Senator Ted Cruz, who also did a shutdown for his state where Colorado flooded and people were killed. And he keeps saying this is a wall that Americans don't want and you're holding us hostage. So I highly recommend it. It is an incredibly impassioned speech from a man who's incredibly quiet. And no one's really heard from him. So a big moment on the Senate floor. Ted Cruz has fought back. And is, of course, going up against Senator Gardner. But a big moment on the, you can see the tide shifting of like, this is out of control.
Yeah, and we will be tracking the latest on the government shutdown today. There is looking to maybe be some compromise, so fingers crossed on that. President Trump did say yesterday that he would be open to a, quote, reasonable agreement. But he also says he has other alternatives, which means he's still hinting at the national emergency. So we'll be tracking that throughout the day. But
he did capitulate to Nancy,
some good
though.
news.
Yeah, he spoke about Nancy Pelosi in a way I've rarely heard him speak. He says Nancy Pelosi, or as I like to call her, and my first thought is it's going to be a nickname.
Yep.
And he said, as I like to call her, Nancy, and that's important.
And he did that on purpose.
Verbiage
obviously.
is important to him, right?
Yeah.
And then he also said, it's understandable what she said. So a shift.
Something's happening here. There is something shifting. Maybe some compromise coming. So back to the fifth host.
Yes. Oh, and Ben31 says, will Roger Stone be crushed at Pebbles? Corny joke of the day.
Oh, good one. I get it. Took me a second, but I got it. So the fifth host question today, all about finances.
You rock. Okay.
That was good.
Her laugh is my favorite.
Is paying for your child's gas or phone bill compassionate or enabling?
Adult child.
Yeah, so what we're talking about here is we're talking about millennials, people my age. Are your parents still paying for your bill? And this is up to age 34, so 17 to 34.
So this is, by the way, if you are thinking, oh God, this happened to me, you're not alone. There's an enormous amount.
Yes.
41% pay cell phone. 53% of American millennials have received financial assistance from their parents. Rent is at 40%. Gas and groceries, 32%. Health insurance, which is out of control for payment, 32% since turning 21. This is all according to the New Country Financial Security Index.
Trending on Market Watch today. So.
I gotta be honest, I think it's totally normal. I think you shouldn't be ashamed. I think this is happening. Yes, I think kids can abuse this.
I am ashamed.
Why, Kelly? Student loans are out of control. Health insurance is skyrocketing.
My parents, I'm still on their phone.
Because
bill.
you literally don't have a cost of living. You can't live
I know, right?
It's not your fault. It's not.
It's so embarrassing, though. It's so embarrassing.
It's not. I want to be honest.
Jason says it's a little my fault.
It's not. I really
it's so funny to see the
this
difference, too, between my sister just being 5 years older than me and me. It makes me kind of feel like a failure.
But do you understand, and I hate to say this because it sounds like a downer on a Friday, society failed you. I know that sounds like a really big deal.
Did they though?
Yeah, when you can't climb out of debt for your student loans for going to education.
I can't.
And have health insurance for your body.
Oh my God, it's so expensive.
What are we doing to our young people? I have a real issue with this. If anyone out there feels bad, why? Tell me why.
Because I feel like my parents should be spending that money, and it's not a lot of money, but it's still their money on themselves.
Do you understand conceptual wise why you're stuck
yes,
and you understand why it's not your fault?
Of course, but it still makes me feel bad.
Okay.
It is and that's what Jason and I were talking about this morning. He's saying he would have never asked his parents for money, and it's just so much different.
It's like literally what you said about a 5 year. How old are you?
I am 31.
So I'm 37. I'm right on the cusp of millennials. Really, kind of. I didn't even think I was.
Yeah, but
right at 40. If you're 40 right now, you're sort of
out of that.
You wouldn't have asked your parents. But below that, it's as common as white rice. Is that common?
Rice.
Bacon. I'm so hungry.
Bacon sounds good. So about a third, 37% say they get cash assistance monthly from their parents, while 35% say they're still living with their parents.
And guess what? Unless you're really smoking your doobies, your grass, and you're in the basement, and you're really not trying, I have a lot of empathy for millennials.
That's how I feel.
I really think you should give yourself some more self-compassion. John just wrote in, Shuby, it's not your fault. And then Jason, come on now. Okay, maybe a little, but still. Rainey says, I covered my father's cell phone rent until about 24.
Oh,
now,
Rainey,
this is
that
interesting.
is very nice.
Rainey is the most wonderful human being.
know.
We love you. Here's the thing, though. A producer did say, no, I take care of my parents'
Yes.
stuff. I want to know about that.
I hope to one day be able to pay my parents back and take care of them, which I of course would, but
I
not
can't.
looking good
Never.
right now.
No, there's no, I know that.
I'm a journalist. I make no money.
Yeah, my dad's a corporate attorney at the best defense litigation firm in D.C. I think Dad'll be fine. I'm struggling.
He'll be good.
But it is, think about it too. I'm 35, and I will be super honest with you guys. I worked at the ice cream store, Salt and Straw. Great company. They allow part-time health insurance.
Which is awesome.
But I did need help from my dad at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm 35 years old, and I'm scooping ice cream in a paper hat. It was a paper hat.
But the ice cream was good.
It was sticky. It was phenomenal.
I've never been there, but I hear lots of good things.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And they did. They had great training in health insurance, which is the reason I scooped ice cream.
Yeah, of course.
But I also believe that I had work ethic. So as
Yes,
long as
exactly.
your ethos
you're trying
is
to
in check-
accomplish something
Right.
and not sitting on your couch watching movies all day. Like, that's
Right.
a different story.
Let's say if it's part of the conversation of how to make you financially free, then assistance isn't terrible. It's the living with your parents that does kind of bother me. It's not because cost of living is out of control. It's not their fault. I have a real issue with this.
And a lot of jobs don't consider what the cost
yeah.
of living is where
Yeah,
you
I think
are.
they did a survey, and I'll find more about it, but I believe it was Forbes, and they said the cost of living, if you make minimum wage, where you could live in the United States just on that, do you know how many cities?
Yeah, not very many.
0.
Wow.
Not one. Not one. That's an impossibility, and it's ridiculous to assume that you can do that. For me, Kimberly says, my parents helped me a lot when I was in college, but after I got out of college, I kind of figured out my parents didn't have the extra to help me anymore, so I stopped asking. And that's definitely a hard thing when your parents are strapped, you're strapped. It's just, I feel very strongly that have the rich be taxed more like they do in other countries, and that they are willing to do, including several billionaires that wrote a letter saying, we're fine with it, we would be fine. So
Wealth gap.
it's enormous.
Yeah, exactly.
They're sucking it from you and your generation.
They're sucking it.
Yeah, I think it's like 26 billionaires own like the complete amount of like
Yes.
it's like some
Yeah,
crazy amount,
I've
and then it's
seen
like
that stat.
93% of us have the rest. John says, of course, that was funny. Oh, but my mom is helping me diminish my credit card debt. She was able to get me a credit card with 0% interest. I couldn't, and I make the monthly payments. Yeah, there's a compromise.
That's awesome. That's
cool.
great.
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's a cool parent who will help you with that. So yeah, that's great. Let's see. What else do we have?
If you're a millennial out there too, and you've never written in, or you're a parent of a millennial, just write in and be honest about this, because I want us to take the Band-Aid over this. I think
There's a stigma, right?
And a generation that shouldn't be there, a stigma that shouldn't be there, that is antiquated for an old generation.
Totally.
I really do believe that.
I think you're right.
I strongly believe that when our generation looks down on millennials and they look up and they're like, man, you weren't getting shot up in school, and you weren't having this kind of student loan, and you weren't having the economy in recession, and you weren't, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that they are struggling. So I want to be open and honest about that. So let us know what you guys are thinking. If you're a millennial and you've never written in, send us all of that.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties with our comments coming in.
Oh.
So keep sending them, please. DBL
Brandy
Nation.
wrote us, when I got a job, I had to pay for my car insurance and my extra clothes that I wanted. It taught me how to manage money.
Yeah. We just
Slack.
Comments. Yeah.
I don't have any Slack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting too, is making like a deal and figuring that out with your parents, where you can, like my dad helped me pay cell phone.
Yep.
And then I would do rent, and you kind of figure it all out.
Yeah,
So interesting.
compromise, yeah.
Tammy Gibson says, I've never gotten help from my parents with finances. I would have liked it. I paid off my student loan on my own, but I deferred a couple of times.
Good for you, Joe Tammy.
When you're a parent, will you think of helping your child?
Of course.
No,
No,
having
we just
Wi-Fi.
not. They're just not coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, ask me that again?
If you're a parent, will you feel comfortable if you have extra giving to your kid?
Yes, but I also think there's a fine line between helping your kids and enabling your kids.
That's a great point.
I think that to an extent.
That's a very important point.
I have some friends who I think have been enabled, and then they just think, oh, my parents will just give me money, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's not how it should be. But again, I think there's a fine line. So I think I would teach my kids. I had a job at 16. You know, as soon as you could get a job, you need to be getting a job.
You can't just wait around.
No, you can't just wait around and twiddle your thumbs and expect your family will pay for it.
Yeah.
But I do think I lived a very sheltered life and a very privileged life. And I think that maybe some things my parents did I wouldn't do for my kids. Because I think my parents did make it easy on me growing up. And I think that's not realistic.
I would definitely, I think I was enabled to be messy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Someone always was sort of cleaning up after me.
Yep.
And I really, as you've seen
It's a
on the
different
show,
kind of enabling. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, Brooks will come over to me and be like, do you think I'm going to clean this up after you? You just drop trash on the ground. I'm not crazy. I wouldn't do that.
Wait, you dropped trash on the ground?
Well, at one
Really?
point when we were first dating,
What'd you do?
we went for like takeout or something, and I rolled up my trash, and then I just went like this and like handed it to him. And he was like, excuse me? And I was like, damn, wacky, not okay. I felt terrible.
Terrible.
But I'm open about it. Like, I'm trying to be better about it. So very
let's
interesting.
see. Roxy Harris on Facebook. I'm 28 and I pay all my bills. Live on my own, work and pay all my bills and my loans. Roxy, you're
incredible.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Rainey says, my brother's in the military, needed help until he could settle into a career, and I was happy to help. Now he supports a family of 5, hashtag proud sister.
Oh,
Rainey, what is your
you're
brother's
an angel.
name? We
Yeah.
would love to give a shout out and thank him for his service.
Yep.
And any family member that is a military service, I always want to thank them too, including
Yes,
you,
thank
Rainey.
you.
That's always so important.
That is important.
Yeah, I mean,
family and our servicemen and women. So Carrie Adams on Facebook says, if they are productive adults, it's okay. I pay my college
That's a good
son's
point.
phone bill. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He works, he gets good grades,
Yeah.
and he doesn't party.
That's a good, who said that?
Carrie Adams on Facebook. And
Carrie,
thanks for joining us, Carrie.
what a good way of saying that. If you're a productive adult,
Yep.
that's all you have to say. Yeah,
Yep.
even if you're at an ice cream store,
Yeah, it
help
doesn't
like,
matter. You were
that's
still
productive.
you were still getting up in the morning and going to a
That's
job
right.
to try to make money and have your health insurance.
Yeah, I find humility and humbleness, even if, you know, whatever you're doing. And also look for jobs that have part-time health insurance.
Yes.
They're rare, but they're
They
independently
are rare,
owned.
but they're out there.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think that's amazing. John Venturini says, that's awesome, Rainey. So really awesome of you guys. We want you to keep writing in. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Senator Cruz just came back on the Senate floor.
Oh, he did.
And said he was upset because our Colorado senator called him crocodile tears.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things with crocodile. We're also going to do an amazing emotional support animals story at the end of today's show that is related to
You're
that.
kind of giving it away.
No, I'm not.
Just kidding.
No,
It's
I'm not.
fine. It's so cute.
No, stop talking.
You
Is it cute? I haven't seen it. I'm very excited.
It is cute, and I also want to tell you another alligator story that I saw today. This is just random DBL Nation, but I just want you to know about it because it's so cool, and I'm going to tell you about it in breaks too. So there's alligators in Florida, and the lakes are freezing in Florida, but the alligators are so smart, you guys. They know the exact time that the lake is going to freeze. So here's a lake, and it's freezing. They poke their heads up like this. So these alligators right now are frozen in the lake like this, but they're still alive because they can breathe, because their nose are stuck out from the water. But they're frozen. They're stuck. But their nose is above the water, so they can still breathe and they stay alive. How crazy is that?
Certain frogs can freeze for years and then come back to life.
Well,
This has been a well of knowledge.
knowledge is power.
Yeah, why don't they just get out of the water?
I don't know.
That's a really good question.
I will look into it more before I report the story.
We have to tell Brandy good luck. Her son is mutton busting today.
No way!
Explain what that is. The Western Stock Show.
Yeah, the National Western Stock Show. So
What
it's
is
happening
mutton
here
busting?
in Denver right now. So mutton busting is when you ride the sheep and they go so fast and the kids have to hang on. It's pretty cool. Steph Jones wanted to do it, but they said she wasn't a kid, so she wasn't allowed to.
Oh, God.
But it's really cool, so I can't wait to see that. Brandy, please
We're
send us
so
video.
excited.
Please
I
send
think
us
that's so
video.
excited.
All right, DBL Nation, we are going to leave you today, not with a heart threat. No, no, no. We're going to leave you with a DBL rewind.
I love this. I love rewind.
Here's a look at what happened this week.
When you get on the plane, if you're in section 8, don't stand by the gate at section 1. If you're in row 14 and I'm row 13, you're not getting off until I get off that plane. Don't think you're sneaking across row 13.
Jeff.
I think I'm taking crazy pills.
Y'all laughed at me when I said she was doing her wifely duties.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought about it.
So I bought a banh mi sandwich, and I thought I had stepped on like an open baby diaper.
I don't need things hanging out.
All right.
Well, not everybody's like that.
When you're on an international flight, you're like, what's up, Independence Day 2?
Ew is a chew.
Yeah.
No, it's,
I think Jeff's being a grown-up.
that's what you do. The GoFundMe for silly things like this is the new, like, buying things at midnight. Yeah, that'd be awesome if that dude went to see those dudes and then they all became dudes. Like, let's put some money in there.
How many times do I need to say, are they crazy? It said it like 10 more times. Are they crazy? Well, the crazy is if we hear your crazy opinion, so head to dblvote.com.
#crazy.
Are we on television? What's going on?